The Cat in the Hat is a very famous and dearly beloved story. Many, many people love the work of Dr. Seuss, including myself. Another big part is Nathaniel Niemi, who is our director, who is just a wonderfully creative and just a fun director to work with. So I get to have both of those things, and then it turns out that everybody else in the cast is just these really creative, fun, talented individuals that are involved in the theater department, so how can a guy say no?
This is a classic, beloved story that we're seeing on stage, and so we're taking the two-dimensional book and making it 3D. That's sort of a style, I would say, that the piece is in, that it is big physical comedy, it's clown, it's cartoon, and it's really sound driven. There's sound sort of scores the whole thing. And we've expanded upon it. So, you know, there are lots of fun moments that you don't see in the book that feel true to the book, but yet I think are fun and exciting. If you kind of go page by page through the book, a lot of that stuff is what you're seeing on stage. And down to the sort of hash marks that are on the items and line drawing that's sort of present. We've kept that in the costumes. We've kept that style in the props and the set. I'll say that this is a huge show for props because almost everything in the book appears, and maybe it is everything, but at least I'll say almost everything in the book appears in the show. And that is lots of stuff, especially as the things are tearing the house apart and throwing things into this pile. That it's crazy. The costumes are kind of iconic. Like, we really looked at the book and said, how do we want this to look on stage? How is this going to tie in and feel like it's all part of the same world? This really specific Seuss world where, you know, there aren't necessarily really straight lines, right? Things are sort of wobbly and bent, and there's energy in all of that aesthetically. And I think the costume design and the prop and set team have done a wonderful job of putting all of that together. And I think it looks really cohesive, and it's an exciting, enticing, really fun, wacky world that feels really true to the world of Dr. Seuss.
So this production is a lot different from other productions that I have been in. This one's a lot more physical. There's a lot more specificity to it, and for me what that means is my gestures have to be really sharp and really clean and clear. Whereas in another theatrical production that is not as physical, things can seem a little bit more natural and organic and relaxed, but this is completely opposite of that. There's a lot of running around on stage and a lot of specific reactions to something that I see or my character sees. Dr. Seuss's The Cat in the Hat is all about learning to have fun and using our imaginations. Growing up, you're told, you know, this is not time for play, this is time for work, this is time for school. This production really brings you back into that world of childhood and into that imagination, which is so beneficial to everyone because creativity is something that is so important in everyday life. And this production can really bring you back into that creative spirit.